Before YHSGR, I think my gross annual income was somewhere around maybe $250,000. I'll never forget the year I went over $1 million. I'll never forget the year I went over $2 million. We're on track to get 3 this year. I'm Barb Schlinker, and I am a broker-owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty in Colorado Springs, which is a beautiful place. We have 5 military bases and lots of people coming and going all the time. It's a great place to live. It's got 300 sunny days a year, not too much snow along the Front Range, well known for the Air Force Academy and NORAD and all these cool places. Before I joined Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, I was basically selling maybe 12 homes a year, and they called me a top producer. I think I made $50,000 a year, and I'm like, really, is this it? Because I was spending so many hours just working on one transaction a month. And then everything changed when I learned about Your Home Sold and started implementing the systems to the point where I've got an overflow of business. I really can't get to all of it, but I can share it with the agents and the staff on my team. And we're selling a lot more homes and pretty excited to go over 2.2 million in income. We're working on 3 million this year. I was independent. I didn't really have a direction other than when I was working for a branded brokerage, I didn't see the value in what the brand brought me. It almost felt like I was giving them money. It's like, okay, go sell, bring me some of that commission. Is kind of how it went. And I'm like, well, wait, they didn't really help me develop my business. I had to figure it out all by myself. And that was a big shock for me, coming from a background of I was a Navy air traffic controller. I got to be an airline pilot for one glorious year. And then our son came along, so I couldn't really be out of town. I got into real estate, and it was such a surprise because there was no training, there was no standardization. Still to this day, it hasn't changed. There's no how to do that job. So I went from making $50,000 a year to over 2 million, working on 3 million this year. We're not necessarily doing a lot more deals, but I'm definitely able to make a lot more per transaction because the value, the systems that Your Home Sold has allows us to bring tremendous value, and clients don't mind paying for it. They're happy to pay for it. In fact, we get paid at the start of the transaction. The way we're able to charge more is we deliver absolute value to the customer. They're getting a lot more. They're getting access to our buyers, even our cash buyers. They're getting fabulous marketing if they plan to go on the open market, and they just can't wait to sign. In fact, half the time, halfway through the presentation, they're like, I'm already done, where do I sign? So that's pretty fun. I had to actually market, and it was amazing when I started doing it because I'm like, wow, they're contacting me. This is awesome. I remember early on when I worked at one of those big box brokerages, I asked the broker at one point, I said, so how do I get business? And he actually told me to pick up the phone book and call. And I did. I got one sale out of it, which was absolutely amazing. These days, you can't do that. And it was miserable. It was like, okay, and still to this day, I have a new agent at my company that just went through school, and a brokerage came to speak to her about it, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna teach you how to knock on doors to get business. Now, do you answer the door? I don't. If I don't know who's there, I mean, what are they thinking? This organization, what they teach you how to do is something called direct response marketing, where basically you provide marketing out there to the world, either online or other methods, and people contact you. And now it's reached a point where this year, in the past month, my volume of listings has actually doubled. I'm like, wow, I've never been so busy early in the year like this. I really didn't step on the gas for the volume of marketing, but I think a lot of it has to do with how they teach us to have a good presence online and the brand. Your Home Sold, those keywords, that's what people are looking for. They don't care about, okay, are you with this or that big box brokerage? They're looking for solutions to their problems when they look online. And that's exactly how we market. So we get people to contact us. Having the extra income actually allows us to reinvest in our business so we can do more, so our team can do more, and so that all the agents at the company are making way more than the average. And it really is a lot of fun. In my market, there are 6,300 agents, and 80% of them sell 3 or less homes a year. Half of them don't sell any at all. And 3 or less homes a year might translate, best case, to $40,000, $50,000. You can barely live on it. You can't afford a home unless you make over $100,000 in our market. When I saw the concept, I was so excited. A lot of it had to do with some of the holes that I see in the business in general, in particular about training agents, right? I love training. I love marketing. When it comes to teaching other people how to do it, basically the way they set up the company is all of the training is available to you online, and it's in little short 5-minute videos with a few questions, so it's very digestible, especially in today's ADD world for agents, because they're more social. They don't like to get down and study, right? It makes sense to actually have a really good business that's growing and be able to deliver ready-to-act buyers and sellers to our agents, and they just have more business that they can get to right now. It's really fun. If you're on the fence thinking about making a change, either to embracing the whole brokerage or coming on board somebody else's brokerage, you won't make a mistake. Everything is pretty much done for you. All you have to do is plug and train and start doing it. And it's tremendous right now. It's the best organization I've ever seen. I've been in the business a long time, and I will say that it's absolutely the easiest way to make money, and you're not knocking on doors. You're not cold calling. You're not doing any of those things. People are actually contacting you because they want your valuable services. That's the way the company's structured. I'd say the tangible results for me, besides the business growth, is that because of the way they teach you how to market, I don't have a common last name, Schlinker. Most people can't even say it, but everybody knows my name in my town. And it's because I've been taught to market. And what my web tech tells me is that he looks at the customer journey. Where do they go online? So they might maybe search something, then they go to the website, then they go to YouTube, then they'll go somewhere else. There's kind of 6 or 7 steps before they finally say, okay, come get me. I need to sell my house. So it's really exciting that we've been trained on how to do that, and it's not that difficult. I think one of the big differences for me when I came over to Your Home Sold is I had an independent brokerage. It was named after my maiden name. I didn't want to name it after Schlinker because people can't even say it. It was Parker St. Clair Realty. Okay, I noticed that when people called the office, they'd answer that way, the staff, and they're like, who's this? Is this Barb? You know, they were confused. Not anymore with Your Home Sold. That was one big thing. And the part that I definitely lacked before was that when I had agents working for me at the independent brokerage, they all felt like the grass was greener somewhere else. Eventually, once I developed their business where they were making well into 6 figures, they didn't think they needed me as a broker, and they moved on. But what's so cool about Your Home Sold Guaranteed is you don't have to move on. We can hire independent agents, and they can have their own identity. They don't have to be a part of a team, and they can build their own business within our business and still make phenomenal money. I think if you're on the fence about joining Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, a lot of people, what they tell me when they're thinking about it is that, oh, well, I really like my broker. He was a real nice guy. The truth is, I have somebody working for me right now that actually worked for probably 6 or 7 different brokerages and teams in town. And one thing that she said to me since she came over, she goes, I never once had anybody hand me any business. She did it all on her own. So she came to work for me last year, May. From May through December, she took 3 months off to go visit family overseas and that kind of thing. And I handed her, I don't remember, maybe 6 or more listings. So she goes, Barb, just from the business you gave me, I made $80,000. Plus I was working my own sphere. She goes, I've had the best year ever, and I only worked for you half the year and took all that time off. We're having fun with each other. We share, we help each other, we encourage each other to, hey, did you get that call? Hey, do you want to go with me on this appointment? Let's share this listing. For me, the biggest benefit of being a part of YHSGR is everybody in the group, without question, is willing to share and help. It's funny, you kind of get in your own routine, in your own market. We do these conferences a couple times a year, and when you listen to other people talk about how they're applying this knowledge and what they're doing, sometimes it's just little tweaks that will make a massive difference in what we're doing in our own market. When I first started in real estate, I remember getting my license and asking other agents, how do I do this? How do I do that? They didn't want to share it with me because I was their future competition. Well, that is not the case here. Everybody is more than happy to here, take this, try it in your own market. So even if we are in the same market, we're not competitive, we're supportive of each other. It's really cool.